believe it or not, but Canon's been working on a way to, how shall we put this, reduce the chance of dew buildup on your camera's sensor. Yep, we didn't think it was an issue either, but here's some evidence pointing otherwise. In Canon patent application JP 2024-05591, filed on October the 6th, 2022, and published just a few days ago on April the 18th, 2024, Canon claims to solve the problem to provide an imaging apparatus capable of suppressing dew condensation without increasing the size. Yep, April the 1st is long gone. This is not a prank. This is actually a patent application. You can go look it up yourself. And this isn't the only patent application. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Canon's found a way to reduce the risk of dew condensation building up on your camera sensor. I didn't really think this was a problem. Now, I do encounter this problem, so especially in winter when I'm shooting outside, I bring my camera gear back inside, and of course, for a few minutes, you've got that buildup of condensation on your lens. It's probably happening on the sensor as well, but while the lens is all fogged up, there's no sense in using the camera, so once the condensation's disappeared from the lens, well, then it's probably disappeared from the sensor as well. However, during the summertime, things are a little bit different because quite often I'm inside in here and it's pretty cold. Then I take my lenses outside with the camera, of course, and what happens, and I sometimes just don't even think about this. I get ready because I see a bird on the tree. I've got my super telephoto ready. I go outside, I get ready, bring it up to my eye, looking through the EVF, and guess what? Things are foggy and I realize, oh crap, it's really cold in the house and the conditions outside, so now I've lost the shot and I've got to wait for that to clear up. So it's great that they've come up with a way to reduce the dew condensation on the sensor, but we still have it on the lens, so I'm not really sure where the benefit is here. But how does Canon go about doing this? It all has to do with the imaging apparatus. Canon's developed a new sensor that's capable of suppressing dew condensation without increasing the size of the sensor itself. Yeah, that's a quote directly from the patent application. And yes, I have run it through Google Translation. And yes, I've added a few comments in there. So imaging apparatus is code for imaging sensor. Maybe you can think of some scenarios where this could be potentially an issue. Now, there is another patent application that doesn't involve lenses, but does involve an imaging sensor. And in this application, I guess it can make a little bit more sense, but let's have a look. JP 2024-055316 solves a problem where dew condensation may occur inside an imaging forming apparatus, so a little bit different from an imaging apparatus, but we're still dealing with a sensor, and this depends on environmental conditions, obviously. And the main difference between these two patent applications, as you can tell by this image right here, it's dealing with photocopiers. So essentially, I found a couple of patent applications that deal with reducing the risk of, well, dew building up on the sensor for, well, digital cameras, for security cameras, and for photocopiers. Yeah, and I'm not going to rant on for minutes about this one because there's really not much more to say. What I would really like to know, though, is have you, in your shooting, in your environment, have you come across a situation where this solution to this problem in these patent applications would benefit you in any way whatsoever? Now, when I'm shooting in the winter, if I don't want to have that dew condensation built up on my the lenses or even the sensor, well, there's a very simple solution to that. I use a giant Ziploc bag. I put the camera with the lens attached in that bag while I'm outside or in the garage, bring it inside, and guess what? You're not going to have that problem. And then after about a minute, maybe 30 seconds, once the air's warmed up inside the bag, open it up, and no condensation. So it reduces the amount of time that you have that condensation on the lens. And I guess in the summer I could do the same thing, but the problem is most of the times when I'm going from inside to outside, I don't have this condensation problem. It's only when the elements, the environmental elements of the atmosphere are perfect between what's inside my house and what's outside that I get this condensation buildup. Really annoying. It's really annoying. But yeah, pretty interesting. Anyhow, let's turn our attention to deals of the week. I told you this would be a short video. we're seeing an awful lot of really good deals on right now. This started on Black Friday and it really hasn't ended. But the big difference is we're going to talk about some deals with Canon, with Nikon, but we're also seeing for the first time we're seeing deals on Sony. Let's start off with Sony. So the a7S III is on sale, along with the a7 IV, and the biggest surprise of all, the Sony a7R5, $400 off at $34.98. Pretty impressive, right? $400 off the Sony a7R5, but that a7S III, $300 off, $31.98, $200 more than the Canon EOS R5. And I'm wondering if that's what's driving some of these sales here. We can see the Canon EOS R5, which has better video capabilities up to 30 frames per second in 4K, 8K RAW for $200 less. So that's certainly putting pressure on the a7S III, which is just 1 month younger than the Canon EOS R5. So great deals there. Now Canon, we still have some deals on the Canon EOS R5. It received a price drop and then it was $400 off. It's now $200 off at $31.99. It was $29.99. And if you buy it at Adorama, they're also tossing in a free SanDisk 128GB CF Express Type B card, as well as a card reader. And over at Nikon, the Nikon Z8 is also feeling that pressure from the Canon EOS R5 at $31.99. It's $300 off. So the Nikon Z8, which has been out for the better part of 2 years now? No, not the better part of, the better part of 1 year. It was released last year, announced on May the 9th, and it has better capabilities than the Canon EOS R5. But it shouldn't it? Because, well, the Canon EOS R5 is 4 years old, the Z8 is 2 years old, so there's an awful lot of deals out there. And if you're interested in purchasing from Adorama, B&H, and Amazon.com, then please consider using my affiliate links down below in the description. These guys right here, because it really does help support this channel. It helps it grow. If you do click on these links, it's not going to take you to any special place. You're not going to have to set up any special account or anything like that. Nothing more than you would normally do. No codes to enter, nothing like that. But there is one thing. I do get a small commission back, anywhere from 2 to 12%, which goes to supporting this channel. It's what's allowed this channel to grow to where it is today. And if you've always wondered about how you can support this channel, I don't ask for money on Patreon. I don't ask for money on PayPal or anything like that. But if you're looking at buying yourself something and you're in the United States, then please consider using my affiliate links down below. And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest, and if the YouTube algorithm isn't automatically showing you a ton of my videos, then please consider subscribing, choosing all notifications, or following me on X, because I tweet out far more information on X than I do through producing videos on YouTube, and that's just because I have a limit of 3 videos a day. After that, YouTube just doesn't serve up my content anymore. But X, well, Elon doesn't care how much I put out there. I can tweet till the cows come home, and no, that's not my style. If I see some really great deals, but they're not big enough to put out a video, I'll tweet something out, or firmware updates, not quite big enough to have their own separate video, I'll do the same. But thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching right to the end. It's much appreciated. And we'll see you again soon.